My dad said, my son, one of the key things in life is you have to stand for whatever you say. You have to stand in being who you are. You have to stand in your resilience. And the biggest thing of all, stand in the foundation of faith and what God disciplines men in a particular way.
There's a sense in which being a husband, I argue, is probably going to be the manliest thing any dude does, you know. And some dudes are not going to be married, and that's not the point I'm making there. But like anybody who's going to have the gift of marriage or be called to be a husband, man, it's probably going to be the manliest thing you're going to have to do, you know.
She knows that C's is an amazing person, and she said to me, you know what, even if my mom says no or what, but I'll fight to ensure that she knows how great of a person you
So
are.
she was sold out, sure.
You know, and I was like, great, and I'll be there to also show moms that it's great. This person is the perfect person for my daughter.
That's dope.
The lovely lady that I've been telling you about, this is her. And this is a beautiful lady that we are now building something that is beautiful for the future together. And my mom said to her, my daughter, welcome to the family.
No way.
And that also hit so hard for me that my mom was saying, this is my child now. And my mom said to her, Shirley, listen, I will love you beyond measure. You are my child, and I don't want nothing to happen with you.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Black Newborn. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Black Newborn. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Before we jump into this episode, we want to thank everybody who's been supporting us. If you're joining us for the very first time, shout outs to you. Hope that you've enjoyed some of this content and you're going to enjoy this episode as we get into it. But please don't forget to subscribe, to hit that notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30. Two ways you can support us. Number one, you can visit our website, thathusband.com, and you can find everything that we are building here. Tickets to Beans and Bonds. You can find our online store, purchase merch there, or you can even buy us coffee through that website. Second way you can support us is by booking me as a speaker, an MC, or facilitator for your next event. You can drop us an email at booking@blacknewborn.com. That's an email at booking@blacknewborn.com. The husband that's sitting across the table from me today, Mngomezulu.
Hey, man.
Sizwe, what's up, my dog?
No, man, I'm good. Can't complain. The beauty of being here is we get to conversate about life's journey, the craziness, the highs, the lows, man. But we're here to share that story of my book of life.
That's dope, man. And maybe it's going to be a whole book, or maybe a very significant chunk of that book.
Listen, let's just go in. It's the whole book, man. You know, it's the whole book. And I think for a lot of individuals, they can get to learn through other individual stories because we might have walked a similar path, and one might be wondering, how do I go through this? And you see another young person, you know, who's gone past that, and you're like, yeah, man, you know what? It's possible. It's possible.
Dope, yeah. Speaking of young people, bro, you got married young, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's crazy, right?
How old were you?
When I was married, man, let me first start off with Ilobol, right? And when I decided to jump into that space of my life, you know, I was 27 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 27 years old, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was beautiful, man. You know?
That's dope.
Yeah, and I loved every single experience of it. You know, going into that moment. I want to take you on this beautiful journey.
Please, bro. I
mean, when I decided to lobola first, because as African people, we step into that phase of our lives, and it's quite significant, very, very significant moment, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up in a space where I saw my parents married, in love, right? And also having my dad's siblings as well, married, right? All of them.
Bro.
And there was one Paktala. They had a lot of kids, right? And there's 9 of them, right? In terms of my dad's siblings, including him. And from his big brother, big sister, all the way to the youngest sister as well, they were all married. And I had that view of marriage growing up, and there was a point as I was young, Jane, I was like, man, I would love this because my dad loves my mom. My mom loves my dad, and I would love someone the way that my dad loves my mom, right? And it was such a beautiful experience where you get to see them enjoying life, having a beautiful experience of being best friends, and also you get to a point where you grow up where you now understand a little bit more about life and individuals and how they are within that space. And I saw them going through the highs, the lows, my dad protecting my mom protecting my dad, supporting each other through it all. And I loved that, and I was like, what, Lord, at some point in my life, I just pray for that lady, who's going to be coming into my life and changing my life, just like my mom did, for my dad, and also that I can also be that individual to her. I can just try my best, man, to be that amazing person, because we all have our flaws. We're not perfect. I think also if you seek perfection, that line continuously moves when you reach that pace.
100, bro.
And seeing that, I decided to just stack up some randellas, and I mind you now, I'm in a crazy environment of work, which is radio, right? And I was in community radio. I wasn't earning that much. I remember they hit me with a 75 Rand per show.
Come on, man.
Right? Not even per show, per hour, as a matter of fact, right?
Come on, man.
We were there, and I was like, okay, I know I'm nice. I'm okay, man. I'm okay. And we were doing everything in terms of, paying SARS. Very important, right? And I saw SARS as my best friend, man. Because in that 12 months, they were saving randellas for me.
Come on, man.
And, when it came back after that financial year, man, it was like quite a significant amount. And I was like, you know what, man, this is beautiful. And saving that for one day, when I meet that special somebody. And I remember going through the years of radio and community radio and just working and working and working. And then I met, my lovely wife, man. And through that moment, I remember when I got my first, not necessarily the first one, but my first payout from SARS, essentially, with my wife now in my life. I was like, you know what, man? I am definitely lowering this lady because I love her, man. And I remember that when that day came around, which was the 7th of October,
come on, man,
we were there, and I said, Dad, listen, there's a special somebody that I want to marry, and let's do the traditional aspect of it and go through the steps, so that everything is set for me, for her, and for our kids, moving forward in the future. Because you did this, I think let's make it happen. And I've never seen my dad cry. Now, mind you, my dad was in the South African Navy, and he's a strong guy. He's a strong guy, and he's a very disciplined guy. And he was this hero of mine that I've seen over the years. He was strong, was resilient through situations and everything. Never saw him cry. But that day, he shed a tear. And I saw him trying to stop it. But the tears were like, no. Your boy is doing this, So that moment in life, man, changed. It changed and was so significant for me. Bro. And when my dad said, "Sees my boy, I'm proud of you," and he calls me Fana, right? Till this day. I think even when I have kids one day, he's still gonna say Fana.
Definitely.
Man. And when he said that, he was like, my boy is now ready. I told my mom as well. My mom as well was like,
That's dope,
man, you've grown up. So it's just snippets of it, but we'll definitely be diving in more detail.
Are you the firstborn?
Yes.
Okay.
Firstborn, man. Firstborn. Made my parents essentially.
Sure.
And it was quite a beautiful moment when they tell me the story. And being the firstborn, there's so much that happens. You essentially lay the foundation for
the experiment, man.
And parents are like, we don't know what we're doing. But we got to make sure that this little human being stays alive. Sure. And I mean, they did a great job, a beautiful job as well. And look at where we are today.
Still fun. So if I get it correctly, you saving Lobola before you even meet your wife. Did anybody else in your life know that you were doing that?
People that knew,
and just run me through the process of getting to that resolve. I think you kind of mentioned it, but like, man, it's a rare thing for any guy to do that. Especially you just landed like, at least the start of your dream job.
Yeah.
And you should be buying sneakers.
Yeah,
you
man,
know,
yeah.
you should be, I don't know, man, just doing whatever
Yeah,
a guy
yeah,
would do at
yeah.
that age. But you decide, I'm gonna get married one day and I'm gonna start now saving up, because obviously that's a significant part of the culture as African people. So run me through the process of getting to that resolve, and what conversations are you having with people around you about that? Yeah.
So the big conversation that I had was largely my parents first. You know, my dad and my mom were very big advocates of ensuring that your finances, regardless of what you earn, you can earn $1,000, you can earn 5,000, even more than that. But the foundation of a solid life is having that financial stability and creating those budgets. I mean, you can buy your sneakers and all that, but also remember to save up for the important things that happen in life. And them walking that journey, they were like, Sizwe, listen, you know, you grew up in a space, because my dad and my mom asked me about, you know, marriage. You are growing up. You're done with primary school, you're done with high school, and you're now stepping into a phase where you're finding yourself. You know, you're growing, and finances are very, very, very important in life as a person as well. And my dad was like, my mom was like, you know what, just give a small portion, keep it in your savings. Just keep it in your savings. You know, you're still living here at home at the time, and you don't have to worry about buying groceries, because, you know, you have this thing of contributing and stuff, right? And my parents were like, you know what, just save. Just save. Spend the money that you want to spend. Enjoy life. You know, don't say that, listen, you're going to be focusing on this thing only and not enjoying life and buying the things that you want. You work hard, early mornings, late nights, because you want to be successful in life. But save up a small portion that is there. Trust us, it will change your life as you move on forward. So that's where it started out. Because in community radio, when you start out, you don't get paid at all. Right? You don't get paid at all. I was there when I started from midnight until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
I was doing a show Monday to Friday.
Sure, man.
And from that journey, they gave me a contract to step into now, like proper weekday. And I remember my first show was 9 to 12 in the morning, Monday to Friday. And now I got a contract where I was starting to earn.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey man, this is another tick on the list that I'm moving up in this thing.
That's good, man.
And through that, when I got my first check, I was so excited, and I was like, yo, Dad, listen. I got paid for the first time, you know, in this space.
Sure.
Do what you have to do. You know, my first salary, here's what you have to do. Sure. And my dad was like, okay, cool. As a parent, as a father, I will definitely, you know, bless this journey for you and your salary, so that it never stops in your life. And from there on, I started saving. And through those conversations, I was so glad that I had them, because, as I've mentioned earlier on, that after the financial year, I got quite a significant amount. And I was like, oh man, this is quite a really good amount.
Sure.
It's the first time that I received this amount in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and taking that, I was very intentional about it. Saying, listen, I'm going to take this very first $2,000 and let me park it in my savings. And then the rest, I can do whatever I want with it. And just taking that on its own was such a beautiful journey, beautiful experience, because it allowed me to step into a moment where I got to a point where I was like, no, listen, now I think it's that time. But having conversation with my dad, you know, my aunt, Mamncane, Mamkhulu, having them guide me as well, and laying that foundation, saying it's possible, right? And the fact that you are now stepping into that moment where you are saving consistently, it will be possible in the future as well when you get to that point.
Bro, it's like, as you're speaking, man, I'm thinking about a conversation around manhood. And, you know, we get a lot of dudes who are just grown boys.
Yeah.
You know, and it's probably, you know, the conversation could be more nuanced if I'm fair, and not just caricature guys and just, you know, think that that's all it is to them. That's all there is to them. But I say all of that to say, as you're speaking, man, I'm like, see, level of responsibility in your thinking is just commendable, and it's just like the kind of stuff that you need to be a husband, you know, because, and that's the role of being a husband is like super challenging.
It is,
super rewarding.
It is,
but
that's moments,
those rewards come at a cost, though, right? Cost to self, you know, cost to your dreams, and maybe you might have envisioned that your dreams might work out a certain way.
Yes.
And then now you have to prioritize your wife, and those dreams might not die, but be shaped differently.
Yes.
Or even take longer to come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sacrifice. But man, like there's a sense in which being a husband, I argue, is probably going to be the manliest thing any dude does. And some dudes are not going to be married, and that's not the point I'm making there. But like anybody who's going to have the gift of marriage or be called to be a husband, man, it's probably going to be the manliest thing you're going to have to do. How was your mindset, man? Like you're having conversations with your dad, and I'm so keen, man, to just get into more of your relationship with your dad as a dude who just doesn't have that, and every time I sit across guys like you, I mean, I'm side note, but I think like I've gotten to a point where my healing around that is far ahead than what it was before. Because before, man, like I'd be breaking inside as you're speaking, because it's just like, dang, like I had a glimpse of having that, and my dad took it away by leaving, and so I'm always fascinated to hear how that dynamic has shaped the man that you've become and the man that you are becoming now. So how does manhood translate for you, man? In all of this, how does your dad's voice shape the man that you became at that point and the man that you're becoming now?
My biggest takeaway from my dad, he taught me discipline.
Sure, man.
He taught me discipline. He said, "Cease, listen, at this point in life, you're still a young boy from a very young age. It was like, listen, you're still a boy, enjoy your life, right? Run around, get hurt, fall, stand up. But there are lessons in falling and getting up from a very young age, right? You try and chase that bee. When it stings you, there's a very big responsibility that you learn and discipline that you learn in saying, don't go there because you might just get hurt." And my dad said, "My son, one of the key things in life is you have to stand for whatever you say. You have to stand in being who you are. You have to stand in your resilience. And the biggest thing of all, stand in the foundation of faith and what God disciplines men in a particular way, right? Saying that you will bear the responsibility of a lot of things in life, and how do you stand forth, as you move on forward." And I took that from a very young age. I never understood it at the time, right? But as I grew up, I was like, you know what, man, there is that element of discipline that my dad was speaking about. And through areas and points where I was in trouble with school, with teachers and all of that, right? I was like, this is my fault, but I will learn a lesson from this. And through those moments as well, my dad even saying, "Sizwe, listen," he's an educator now, right? And he said, "Sizwe, please, I don't want to be called to your school with the fact that you didn't do your homework, assignments, or you were misbehaving." He told me that in primary, and he said again, "Listen, you chose this high school. I didn't.
Sure.
But my hard-earned money that is here to feed my family and also take care of your mom, who's my wife, my love of my life, right, is here to do that. Don't mess it up, please." So I was like, okay, cool, Dad. Listen, I will definitely do that. And I promise I will not mess things up, right? Mom being there as well. Moms, they give you that eye and I must not mess up. And through those lessons, they taught me so much discipline in being an individual who stands forth, right? I always want to be at the forefront of doing things to showcase to other individuals that it's possible. It's possible, even if you fail, even if you don't make it to that point, but take lessons from my life. And those are the conversations that we're having with my mom, with my dad as well. And one thing for me was to make them proud. I want them to have, a smile on their face every single time that they see me succeeding, me falling, but getting up, and them knowing that the lessons that we taught Sizwe, he has taken them. And now we don't have to worry about what life has to hold, because life back then for them was different. And for them, it was a situation of, we don't know what will happen in the future. But let's curate this individual to be strong for whatever happens in the future. And it's beautiful because I would always have conversations with my dad because he was the one taking me to school and fetching me after school. So you'd find that I would spend more time with my dad when I was still in my schooling years. And later on in life, now done with high school and everything, I'm spending more time with my mom. Now, mom is teaching me a little bit more softness on how to take care of yourself. Number one, be kind to you and remember to fill your cup first before you fill other individuals' cup. And she came through with that element of a lady. How are you soft to another person? Because dad teaches discipline, being strong, and you might miss out on the kindness that you have to be as an individual, right? Because you have to be strong for the world. But my mom came around as well saying, listen, Sis, as much as you're a strong individual, but also have that softness that is there because someone in life will need that from you. And you need to understand how us as ladies work, how us as ladies operate in this life thing, right? And I was like, nah, Mom, cool, you know. But sometimes in life, when you're there that moment, you are like, hey, son, mom taught me this, but I don't understand what's going on now. The combos are not comboing, right? And I was there in that moment, and I would sit back and think about those lessons that I got from the University of Mom and Dad.
Stop, man.
Yeah, so those are the conversations that we would have on a daily, on a weekly, have moments with my dad, have moments with my mom. But I also value the element of spending time with mom only.
Yeah.
Also value the experience of spending time with dad only. Because essentially I'm a combination of them both. Yeah. And they contribute to my personality. They contribute to who I am from the foundation that they laid both. Yeah.
That's good, bro. Man, I was chatting to a friend not long ago about pressure. Yeah. And I think we've demonized pressure and or at least spoken about one kind of pressure. Yeah. And that's normally negative pressure, But I'm like, there's good pressure. Yeah. For gold, diamonds, metals to be processed, they need pressure. And then they turn out to be, these beautiful pieces of art. And so I'm like, we need some good pressure. Yeah. And I think we need to be able to distinguish between. How have you handled the pressure that I think comes with being who you are? Dad comes from a family of, 8 siblings, if he's the 9th. Yeah. All married. Your parents' marriage sounds like it's good. You're the firstborn. Yeah. How many siblings do you have after?
So I have a little sister. So one. Yeah,
right?
Mngomezulu. Yeah. And he was my best friend, still growing up and still is, essentially. Yeah. Made fun of her, just going into her room, just switching on the lights when she's sleeping and then just leaving the room. Just big brother.
Big brother. Yeah, come on, right? So do you feel a good kind of pressure? Having chosen marriage, coming from the legacy you come from, having a little sister who's, probably is looking up to you. What kind of ways do you navigate that pressure? Yeah.
You know what? That pressure is, I didn't realize earlier on in life that there are pressures that come with being a firstborn. Because parents don't always get it right. Yep. Because they've never been a father or a mother before. Yep. And when that first child comes around, you don't know if you're applying too much or you're applying less or you're not applying any pressure at all. And they didn't necessarily know whether it was the right pressure to apply or not. But I think they found themselves and they found their groove on how to do this parenting thing. And from them, I didn't get crazy pressure, right? And for me, it made things much easier in life. Knowing that, yes, I'm wanting to impress. I think that's where that pressure came. And I wanted to be the best version of myself. I wanted to be the best version that my parents would see and even beyond, right? And having a younger sister, I also am trying to now not have like crazy pressure on her. Sure. Because I'm 6 years older than my sister, right? Okay. And I think also you have this brother responsibility that is there where you have to take care of her, her feelings and making sure that she hits the mark every single time. And there's pressure that comes from parents and there's pressure that you give off to your younger sibling. And there's certain things in life where you are like, but how come is my sister not going through that?
Yeah, sure.
Because I went through that.
Sure.
And also at the same time, the brother-sister dynamic is different from a brother to brother, sister to sister. Because now you're not as tough. You need to be gentle with your sister because biologically you're stronger than your sister, right? And through that, there's a certain kindness that you get to learn. And I think also as young individuals, growing up, you tend to do first before you think. And in moments where you shout at your best friend at the time, my little sister, and you sit back and you're like, I think I shouted at my sister way too much.
Sure.
And you go there and learn the responsibility and the pressure of, listen, Sizwe, you were wrong.
Yeah.
Apologize, because that also has a certain pressure to its own. That's why you'd find even with diamonds, it's not a consistent pressure that is there. There's a little bit more in 1 year. There's a little bit less in a couple of decades, forming it into the shape that is, beautiful, shiny, and having this element that shines for the rest of the world.
Yeah, man.
And holds so much value. So I would say that pressure differs, right? So from week on week, day to day, hour by hour, second by second, right? Pressure changes. It's how you learn to adapt around that. So holistically, I would say that I navigated, in my own view, pressure in the right way, that came from parents, that came from also life in general, because you have people looking at you that are outside of family. You have friends, you have that guy from the neighborhood, who just chills there, and them looking at your life, and saying that, listen, Sikas is now moving differently, So that's why I say pressure is relevant to one's life, and how you react to pressure is very key, because it differs every single time.
That's good, bro.
Yeah.
Do you feel it uniquely now that you're a husband?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And let me tell you why. I always ask myself, because you can hear advice, stories being shared with you by individuals that have walked that path, right? And you are now there, and you have to navigate it for yourself. Because when you leave home, you're not at home as often as you were. You check in with mom and dad, you check in with Ukoko, they're a sibling as well. But a lot of things in life that happen, you have to now do those on your own, right? Focus and make decisions. And you pray that you make the right decision as you move on forward. Now, I'm sitting in a space where I've lobola, because with my culture, right, as a Zulu gent, you start off little by little, right? And we'll delve in a little bit deeper as we continue with our conversation, right? But when I lobola, I was like, okay, cool, man. I'm excited. I'm happy. All right. And as we continue to move on forth, now, yes, we are living together. It's a new dynamic in my life, because I've been with at home, essentially, right? In my room, doing my own things.
Sure.
And I'm navigating life in my own way.
Yeah.
There's certain things and how I like to do things. Now you have an individual comes in and it's her dynamic coming through with mine, and how do we create our own? And I found there was a moment where I struggled a bit, because I understood myself and how I did things. And remember, habit becomes that thing that is there and sits there and doesn't change, because you've already curated it in that way. And now you have to tap in and lock in, and you're like, Esa, I've been doing this for so many years like this, and now another individual comes through and say, listen, Sis, let's do it in a much better way.
Oh man.
And you're like, I thought this was the better way, and you're still in that phase, but you are now with someone that you love, and you're like, okay, cool, let's try it out. Because when you're alone, you don't have anyone else to ask and say, okay, cool, let's try your option. You're like, this is what I'm thinking of. Let me do it, and let's see what the outcome is.
Sure.
And when you have someone else who sees that, and maybe here you're going to fall, let me hold your hand as someone that I really and truly love, and I don't want you to fall, but let's run in this direction. It's going to be a little bit better. So adjusting to that moment, adjusting to being now having this responsibility of, okay, you got to ensure that the house is safe. You know, you got to make sure that if you hear noise outside, you might just step out,
Sure.
check what's going on.
No joke.
Yeah, you know, and that was my dad's responsibility. You know, and seeing that, I sat back over the years, you know, with my beautiful wife, sat back over a number of years. I'm like, how did my dad do this? Because you see this hero and you see this queen, which is now my mom, right? Dad handles security, you know, making sure that the house is safe, every door is locked, and he makes sure that when he hears a sound, you don't even know that dad stepped out, but also to make sure that the family inside is safe. And he would rather sacrifice himself than have the family hurt. And now realizing that responsibility falls on me, which I am so glad that I do it so well, ensuring that I protect my family, you know, and laying that foundation of safety, even when I'm not at home.
That's good, bro.
And teaching her even how to handle herself when I am not there. Because as husbands, as partners, as boyfriends, we will not protect our partners wherever we go, right? We will not be there 100% of the time. And you give them those nuances of how to carry yourself and just be a little bit more vigilant wherever you step. So those were all of those things that I was thinking about. And when I realized that I'm now thinking about these intentionally, I'm like, man, okay, now I'm actually, you know, stepped into the chapter of being a man. You know, a boy would be a person who's just like, lock up the house, I'm out. You don't check the windows, you know, you don't check that everything is set in place. And when you think about those responsibilities of life, you realize that now I'm stepping into an element and that phase of being that man. I could be a young man, you know, but now there's a little bit more heaviness that is there. And it's good heaviness, right? It's that pressure that I said, it changes day to day. It's not always consistent. You know, sometimes it's a little bit strong and sometimes it's a little bit smooth and softer, but you have to be present in that moment. So yeah, I would say it's realizing that, and I mean many other things as well, but realizing that, okay, now I need to make sure that as a man, I provide holistically, and I won't get it 100% of the time. You know, I won't get it perfect all the time, but when I fall, you know, I'm still able to rise because I know that there is someone that is there who's like, listen, it's okay. It's okay. Let's try again.
It's good, bro.
Yeah.
Does your dad's legacy of being a husband weigh in you and the husband that you're becoming?
Yeah.
And if it does, how? If it doesn't, man, what kind of hero are you? Like, let us know.
Yeah. So, I mean, my dad's legacy is such a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Because he has played such a pivotal role in not only my life, but other individuals' lives as well. Because whenever growing up, whenever walking with him in town, going to a number of functions that he goes to, we get to meet students that he has taught. And they're always like, yo, Sis, your dad is amazing. You know, your dad has changed my life. And as a young kid, I was like, why are you saying my dad is changing your life? Because this is my dad, you know, this is my dad. But growing up, you learn that you are not only going to make or want to make your family proud, but you're also going to impact a little bit of who you are in other individuals' lives. And lessons that my dad taught me, he taught his students. And now those students, you know, when I get to meet them, they are now married, you know, and my dad was a high school teacher for so many years. And learning that, you know, there's a gent who came to my dad and I was like, this is a grown man, you know, right in front of me. Now he's got a bit of a white beard here and there, you know, and he's married, he's got his wife, he's got his kids. And him speaking so highly of my dad is something that is beyond measure. You know, you have lady students, you know, who grew up and they say, listen, man, your dad taught me how to be a person who's strong in life. Them sharing with me saying, listen, I didn't have a father, but Sizwe, your dad was my father.
Man.
You know, and even to this day, the kids at school, they call my dad father.
It's crazy.
Which is wild, you know.
It's crazy.
And I learned that it's okay to share a little bit of him, you know, in other individuals. Now, that legacy at the same time weighs now not necessarily heavy on me, but it has its presence on my shoulders because I want to make my dad proud because he was the one who contributed to my life. And him being a dad for the very first time because of me, there are so many lessons that he had to learn, going through the process. And he didn't get it right all the time.
Yeah.
And at the same time as well, with all that he had done, he said, listen, Sizwe, it's okay. And I was like, you know what? I want to make this man proud. I want to hear my dad say, Sis, Fana, I'm proud of you.
Stop,
And also how, as I've mentioned, how he treated my mom. And I was like, man, I wish to be even half the man that you are. And when I said that to my dad, I was like, yo, Sis, listen, be 110% more than who I am because I've done right by you and you now have to carry that and move it forward. He taught me the value of loving and appreciating your surname because that is your pride.
That's good.
And my dad would always say, listen, Sizwe, your name means nation. And you carry the nation of the Mngomezulu family and legacy as well, and all that it holds. And through my mom even hearing those words, my mom shed a tear. My mom said, Sizwe, what your dad said, I value and I want you to carry that in whatever moment you step into in your life. So that element of legacy, I want to continue and take that and make it broader, wider. And I want someone, as I'm living in Gauteng, I want someone who's in Namibia. I want someone who's all the way out in the Western Cape, in Durban, all corners of South Africa and the rest of the African continent, to be like, yo, man, there's this gent who's a part of the Mngomezulu family, who's impacted in my life.
Stop,
and through impacting someone else, that carries that legacy, and they feel that legacy as well. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Hey, man. Blind.
I'm suit.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. That's dope, man. Man, appreciate that, bro. I'm part of a cohort residency of guys who are planting churches in Gauteng. And so we come together every Wednesday.
Yeah.
We do devotions, get into the practicalities of church planting, but then we also just share stories because it's like 9 strangers and we're all in one room. We're going to be together for a year.
Yeah.
So now we're just getting to, share stories about our heroes, our heritage, our hurts, but bro, and I mean, this is common, but with no fail, bro, like at least everybody who shared their story so far, man, just like broken relationships with our dads. And not like, well, my dad was at home and he just neglected me. It's like bad, So shout outs to your old man, for just leaving a legacy, not just for you, but the rest of us, bro.
Absolutely.
So shout outs to him, man, and I think you appropriately named. As he lives out his legacy, he's changing the nation.
Absolutely.
And you are the fruits of that, bro. So thank him, man, and just shout outs,
appreciate it.
For that. So and I'm pretty sure that also just informs you thinking about having kids.
Yeah.
And are you gonna take your grandfather's playbook and have 9?
No, yeah. no, 9 is a little too much.
out of all the siblings, who's closer to
the 9?
To 9, yeah. Because your dad has 2.
Yeah.
And his other siblings?
Yeah, so his other siblings as well, they moved. So the brothers, right? So the brothers had even a couple of sisters as well.
Yeah.
Right? They had 2, 3.
Okay.
Right? So my dad's younger brother, he is sadly passed away, right? But thank you so much, man. And he has 3 kids. Right? 3 kids. And I look at my dad's older brother.
Yeah.
He had 2, right? 2 boys.
Okay.
And we have my dad's other brother as well. He had 2 boys. And my dad's other brother, he had 3.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So
No one is passing 4, bro.
Yeah, no one's passing the 4
No
mark,
one is
right?
like,
I mean,
3, we're not getting. That's
yeah,
crazy.
you know,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
even with his sisters as well. I
Yeah.
mean, his big sister, right, the firstborn,
Mhm.
she had 1.
Okay.
Right, she had 1, and I know Anson was like, yeah, one is fine, you
Yeah.
know. And my dad's other sisters as well. They
Yeah.
also play around between 2, 3, and then
Hey.
there's one aunt of mine. She had a couple of kids as well, so she
Okay.
just passed the 5 mark. But
Okay.
essentially,
Okay.
everyone just on average had 4.
Okay.
So
Sure.
yeah, no more
Yeah.
9. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know 9. I'm not too sure, man.
Yeah. I mean, in a different time,
Oh, yeah.
nine
Yeah.
would have. But man, like, there's something about a big family.
Mm.
I didn't grow up with a big family, but like
Yeah.
I've always, especially like in the later years,
Mm.
when we older,
Mm.
we all have our kids as well.
Mhm.
I've always wondered like just how that feels.
Mm.
That the closest I had to that was my grandmother's house.
Mm.
I think, yeah, my grandparents had 12 or 13
Sure. Yeah.
kids. And yeah, there was a season where the kids were there, all the grandkids were there, great grandkids, and that was like, yeah, that was dope. But it comes with a lot of chaos as well.
It does. It does. And I think also, the beauty of having a big family where we all love each other, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
with us, our culture is they're not cousins,
No.
they're not the
Yeah.
third cousin.
Yeah.
This is your brother,
Your
this
brother,
is
right.
your sister.
Yeah.
Right? So love each other. If you all fight, just work it out the end.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
support each other as much as you can.
That's good. Yeah.
Right. So they also all in all, taught us that. And even my grandmother had on my mom's side,
Yeah.
right? Just 2.
Mm.
Right. And through that as well, we were like this one close-knit family. Every
good,
single year we have family gathering
Mm.
where we have, the elders, us as the kids, the young ones, the new generations that followed us, right?
Sure.
And we'd come together and just have fun. And every single time, on a yearly basis, we'd have a youth family gathering.
Sure.
Like, listen, older generation,
Yeah,
it's
stay
okay.
away.
Right? Take it easy, drink your tea and some
Sure.
cookies, you'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
So spend some time with each other.
Yeah.
And we, the kids, are going to be having a party and have a good time, right?
That's good.
And we'd come together,
Still
come
good.
together and laugh, braai, because
Yeah.
braaiing is just one of those things that you just cannot meet each other and not braai. Now, everyone had their responsibilities. We had the sound crew, right?
Come
My
on
family.
now.
We
Yeah.
had the ladies that would come through with, your salads and the pap and
Yeah.
all that. And us as the gents, we'd have a couple of individuals dedicated to braai.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Had
yeah,
other
yeah,
individuals
yeah.
dedicated to making sure that the coals are nice.
Yeah.
And keeping the heat consistent, man,
Sure.
and making sure that the meat is there. But the pressure now we'd apply to the other ones. We were like, hey, man, listen, better make sure that meat is proper.
Yeah.
Ladies, better make sure that, the salads and everything are top tier.
Yeah.
And we'd have fun, man, and
That's
just come together, enjoy. And what we would do is we'd go to a sibling's house
Yeah.
and just go there and have a good time.
That's good. man.
Because we already had, cousins who bought houses already, and we'll just every year alternate houses so that the neighbors know which this guy or girl is
Must
supported
be.
by the family.
Yeah.
So we'd be there just having a good time and
That's
just
good,
celebrating each other, celebrating each other's wins, and just
Yeah.
coming together and asking each other, man, would see what would you want, man, for the future? Where is your life headed? What is your direction that you're taking? What are some of the lessons that you've learned growing up in this space? Because I think also it does hit different when you
Yeah.
have someone who's
Yeah.
just a little bit older, who's gone through those moments in life, and you following shortly behind them.
Yeah, man.
And potentially you might meet those phases. You ask other individuals, how successful were you when you started out? And I recently saw a post that asked, the president, what was your first job? And he shared. And we do that with siblings. What was your first job? How were your experiences before you settled into where you are right now? And the reason is, when you start out and come into the job environment, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Essentially, beyond the job that you're working at, you might love it, you might not love it, because you have to, I feel like you have to go through certain phases in life where you do something that you don't like, so that you know the value that is there for doing something that you love and appreciate, where you don't get to work a day in your life
good,
because you love it so much. So we would teach each other, learn lessons from each other as well, and you take that and you try and push as much as you can, in the 24 hours that we are given. But essentially, it's a little bit more because you have to sleep, right?
Yeah.
You know, so there is that element of having a big family. And I think our space, we were taught that even if you have 2, 1, 3 kids or no kids at all, but you know that you have a big family that is here that comes together and just celebrates each other and has a good time.
Still, bro.
Yeah.
How many are you planning?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 3. My wife and I were like, 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know? 3 kids, because with her, she comes from a family where that has a little more siblings, right?
Okay.
Now with her, it's just sisters only, right? Sisters only,
sure.
and Mngomezulu has a son, so it's just sisters and 1 brother. And with her, she has that dynamic of having more siblings in one space.
Yeah.
With me, it was my sister and I.
Yeah.
You know, and we just make the best of what life has to hold.
Yeah.
You know, and the times there were moments where a couple of my cousins would stay with us because we are in different parts of the country, but essentially it's Gauteng and Mpumalanga, right?
Okay.
Now I remember my dad's sister said, "Listen, brother, please take my daughter to come and learn by your side." And my dad was like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. You know, let her come and live with us. Even with my other, cousin, Martin, come through, learn by my side as well." And we just live together.
It's good,
you know, and you have that big family that comes together because they curated a space where we were like, guys, let's just support each other as much as we can.
Yeah.
Your kids, bring them through. No need to be like, no, I'll pay you. And listen, these are your kids and my kids.
Family, man. Yeah.
So let's just grow together. So that's the dynamic of having a big family. But also, I think you have this moment of seeing, I guess, when you are a parent, I think you also get an itch as you grow up that, maybe if I'm a father, how will I be?
Yeah.
How will I experience this phase? Because I think there's certain things in life where you have to experience them by yourself.
Yeah.
You can be told about it, but you have to now be there and experience that phase. So, my wife and I were like, let's just have 3. Let's see where that takes us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro. I'm an alien, bro, from whatever planet.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Just landed. And I've been hearing you guys speak about this lady you married to. Who is she? What is she?
Yeah.
How would you describe it to an alien? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Black Newborn here, That Husband Podcast. Some of you have been asking us, man, when are you dropping merch? I'm like, where have you been, dog? If you don't know that we got merch, all right? Go on our online store, thathusband.com, and you can find our merch right there. We got that official black That Husband hoodie. Now, super dope, super clean. You know what it is? If you wear it in the streets, people will know who you represented. That Husband, all right? But man, let me tell you, it's unisex. Anybody can wear it, but if you wear it, that spirit of the real daughter is gonna come out, and all the affirmations about the right kind of daughter that you want to be. I rock this thing. It's gonna be super dope. If you don't have game and you're a husband, just buy this hoodie, man. And as soon as you walk into your house, your wife is gonna be like, in daughter, my daughter, right? And if you're a wife, rock this, and your daughter will love you. If you're not married, telling you this is how you get in daughter. Just saying, right? Purchase this, man. It's currently on special, $400. You can get it on our online store. Make sure that you're rocking that. But man, that's not the only thing we got, man. For all of you who like the fitted caps, know what I mean? You want to look super dope? Let me tell you right now, we got this failing forward. Now, we're not just Popeyes or clowns or punks that just fail. We are failing pambili, failing forward, man. We're making sure that we're not staying where we are because we are husbands who are trying to know better so that we can do better. Go rock this. It's going to be super dope, man. The streets will know who you is. I'd make sure that South African sun is not hitting your pretty face so that you are rocking up and becoming the kind of daughter that your wife wants. But you can also rock this if you're a woman as well, man. It's for everybody, right? One of our interns rocks it, and in fact, now she's gotten a lot of DMs. Let me just tell you, her name is, let me not say, alright? But it's super dope, super dope, super dope. We keep it moving. We also got super, super, super incredible cups, alright? Man, you grab this, not me, get into the office, let them know that you are representing that husband. What is it? What is it? Tell me. AMARSS. I'm telling you, dog. This is better than a Stanley, son. It's better than a Stanley. Keeps your warm water warm. It keeps your cold water cold. Oh, man, dog.
Buy this thing, dog. And it's gonna be super dope. Get it right now. I'm just telling you, son. Super sick, eh? Who is she? What is she?
Yeah.
How would you describe it to an alien? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about the special somebody.
Come on.
Yeah. Let me tell you about this golden light, man. Let me tell you about this sunshine. You know, every time I see her, man, I just imagine just taking it easy by the beach,
Come
just
on,
watching
man.
the sunlight. Sunset, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
I'm watching
yeah,
the
yeah.
sunlight. You know, during those phases when it's dark, I'm like, when is the sun shining?
Come
You know?
on now.
But it's shining daily because she with me, man. You know, others looking at her and be like, hey, man, how did this guy get this beautiful lady?
Yeah.
And I'm
Come
like, hey,
on,
man, look at me, you know? But, you know, I'll start there with the alien, right?
Sure,
Like, hey, man,
sure.
just giving the alien a bit of that smile about,
Yeah,
you know, that energy that resonates within me about this
Mm.
special person. Now, her name is, I met her when she's still Shirley Lirato
Yeah.
Lamaubi, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell the alien that first. That's her names, man.
Yeah.
You know, and through that phase, you know, in life, I'm gonna be like, yo, listen, this is a person who loves to cook.
Sure.
Right. I enjoy cooking as well. And we get to curate meals together.
Dope.
She is a loving person. She is someone who uplifts other individuals beyond. She's a person who is very disciplined. She's a person who is strong-willed, has a strong character, stands for what she wants, loves family, protects family, and family is the most important thing in her life. And she is one to say, I'll be there for you in whichever hour. Call me and I'll come through. If you are in a moment in life where you're not as great or you're lacking in that phase, in that moment in life, I'll be there to carry you, right? You might just be a little bit heavier than me, right? But I'll be there and try my best, you know, to hold you up as we walk this journey together. She is someone who I love beyond measure. She is someone who has been there from the start when I wasn't as strong to where I am strong now, but trying to get a little bit more stronger. She has been there through that phase and that moment. I'm an individual, and she's an individual who comes through into a space and lights the room. She is one person who, when I say, everybody, please stand and meet my wife.
Sure.
Give her a round of applause, you know, and she gets a deserving standing ovation because she has done so much for me. Alien, I hope that, you know, you find yourself someone who's like that.
Come on.
And I wish you the best, yeah?
She's one of a kind.
One of
bro.
a kind, man. One of a kind. And sometimes, you know, I just, even at home, man, you know,
Yeah.
I just sit back and I look at her and she gives me the eyes like, ooh, why are you looking at me?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm just admiring you.
Yeah.
You know, I get to arrive home and I don't have any pressure when I just sit on the couch and watch TV. You know, she is one individual when I come home, like, are you okay? Are you all right, Ndwana? Skim Sam, are you good?
Yeah.
You know, how are you feeling? How is work? You know, how is life? I think also we tend to forget about asking each other, you know, that question.
Yeah, man.
How's life?
Yeah.
How's life for you? You know, and she is that one person who I can say can be, not even can say anything. I'm like super honest and so unapologetic about the conversations that we have. I literally take my cloak off of being Batman in the world, sometimes being Bane,
Yeah.
you know, in the world. But when you get home, you know, you just turn into a little young boy.
Yeah.
You know, and I value that from her. You know, she takes my craziness of the inner child that is within me, and she takes care of that so much. You know, and allowing me that phase. Sometimes I would bother her. You know, we have those days. You know, we're human beings, and I just walk by, just flick her ear.
Yeah.
You know, touch her nose. And like, why are you touching me? Hey, why are you touching me? Hey?
Yeah.
You know, and we joke about that. And she's one person who's also goofy,
Sure.
as much as me. So I love that. And yeah, I'll tell the alien that this is Yeah, something special, man. You know, I think about it now. Man. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. You know.
That's proper, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
proper, man. Let's take us from having saved your lobola money to meeting her.
Yeah.
Did you go back and speak to your bank account and you're like, we found her?
Yeah.
You're gonna be useful now.
Yeah. You know, speaking about that moment in life, man. Saving, and sometimes, you know, I would want to just tap into those renderos and be like, listen, let me just take
Sure.
But that little Sizwe who's disciplining me is like, don't touch it, my boy, don't touch it. And my dad has taught me, my mom, right? Both of them taught me the power of laying the blessings of prayer for your future. And my mom and dad taught me prayer, because I have been in an environment of spirituality as well. And I was taught that, you know, you are not African because you are born in Africa, but you're African because Africa is the spirit that is born within you. And you get to walk the soil and the sand of individuals that have laid their lives, you know, to bring this space to life. We would go from South Africa all the way to Egypt. There is so much spirituality that is there, and Africanness that is there, that you should not forget, because it's a part and parcel of who you are. And it's also laid that foundation for me. So my parents told me that, saying, listen, Sis, for whatever you want in life, us as your parents will pray for you. And that also is a very big blessing, you know, in the African continent. And taking that, they were like, listen, also pray for yourself. Pray for your future. Pray to the Lord to give you someone who is as spiritual and accept how we function as a family, and for him to give you strength as well to understand her family as well, because it's a dynamic and families that come together to be one. And we shouldn't forget both sides. And as I was saving, you know, I would have moments with myself, journal down, have a conversation with the big man above, and say, God, you know what? You know how my heart is. You know what I'm about to say right now, but I'm going to say it still. Lord, please give me someone who will be here for me. Lord, give me someone who is like my mother, you know. Lord, give me someone who is as loving as my mom. Lord, give me someone who is as strong as my mom. Lord, give me someone who is as disciplined as my mom. Give me someone who's caring as my mom, because she has laid that foundation. And when I met my wife, Shirley, it was the most beautiful experience ever. Now, let me tell you this. Let me take a little bit back.
Sure.
So I went to a Springs Boys High School, right? An all-boys school. You know how all-boys school is. There's no ladies around, except teachers, right? But all in all, we'll be crazy and we'll be boys. And we'll do boys things, man. Just have fun, laugh at each other. Be naughty, I guess, you know, and just be kids and have fun. And she went to a different high school. And there was a transport that would come to fetch us. Now, my dad would give me, now I'm in high school. Like, Dad, don't fetch me. Don't fetch me. Give me taxi money, I'll be fine. I'll arrive home safe. Yeah, you know what? And I saw this young lady, right? And they would always sit in front. So, TV. You know the space between the quantum, between the driver and the passenger? It's a busy TV. And they would always have like a couch so that you don't feel the heat of the engine and stuff, right? And they would sit in front. And I remember this guy, his name is Stanford, right? He would, even till this day, man, such a good friend. You know, he would come through and collect them from their school, and the quantum would still be empty. Now I would come to Boys' Eye and Girls' Eye as well, and collect us and then just drop us off, right? And I would always see her coming through, like always in the quantum, like, hey, these are cool individuals, right? So let me have a conversation. Now, I was the Zulu guy at the back with my friends, just making fun, you know, just enjoying, and the ladies in front, oh no. These guys have started again, you know. But crazy enough, when I tell her the story, she's like, but I've never seen you. You know, you were quieter at the back. I'm like, I was quiet. Maybe you thought my voice was my friend's, you know. And she's like, I don't remember you.
That's
I'm like,
crazy, bro.
how is that possible? Because in front, you were sitting with 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, yeah, I was sitting value with those individuals, but I didn't see you. I'm
That's
like,
insane,
crazy,
bro.
right?
Sure.
But once we were done with high school, right,
Yeah.
we all went in separate directions.
Yeah.
And I was doing my thing, you meet other individuals, you build a relationship with them, it doesn't work out, but you get the lessons from it.
Yep.
And later years, she sent me a DM, right? Sends me a DM now on Facebook, right? Who's this lady, right?
Sure.
And I check her name. I'm like, this
remember
is
you.
Shirley, right?
Yeah,
I remember. It's like TV,
Yeah.
Quantum. Right. Okay. She was like, oh no, hi, how are you? Having a conversation back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, give me your numbers. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna give you your numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you my numbers, right?
Yeah.
You give me your numbers.
Sure.
Right? And I'll call you.
Yeah.
Don't call me, I'll call you. Hit her with that line as well. And I took her numbers. And I went a little bit quiet for a couple of days.
Sure.
And she tells me that she was just waiting, Gucci, when is this guy
Giving a
texting
call.
me?
Sure.
When is this guy giving me a call?
Crazy.
Now, I was like, I think we live in a space where before you call, text first and just see if I'm too busy or what, right? And I texted her and she replied immediately.
Sure.
I'm like, hey, how are you? No, you're good. And then we had the conversation of, hey, I was sitting at the back of the Quantum. You remember Stanford?
Yeah.
Stanford, right?
Yeah.
You used to come through and collect us. I was sitting on my cheap Continental and the Coke, come through and just eat and have a good time. And through that moment, we were like, listen, let's go on a date.
Yeah.
Now I started in my now earlier years of doing 9 to 12 in community radio. I'd left my job that I'd worked at, right, as a sales consultant. Yeah, one thing I can tell you, that was the worst time of my life. But I got lessons from it. The worst time of my life, right?
I feel you, Doug.
But I'll plug you when we step into that moment, right, of our conversation. And we say, listen, let's just meet up. Now, I'm dressed to the nine. And I got my jeans on, looking fresh. I got my white tee. And on that day, I took my mom's necklace, right? This golden necklace that my mom has had for years.
Sure.
And I took it. My mom didn't know.
Yeah.
And I wore it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got my mom's spirit with me.
Come on now.
My mom is with me.
Come on,
and I was there, just had a fresh cut.
Come on,
my
bro.
beard was looking nice.
Clean.
And I got at Mug and Bean when I was done with the show at 12.
Yeah.
And I texted her. I was like, listen, I'm here at Mug and Bean. Do you want me to order you something, or are we going to order when you arrive? Now, I'm saying, are we going to order when you arrive, so that I also afford her that space to give me her opinion and say, yeah, we can order or not. Now, she said, no, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, right? She catches an Uber and comes through, right? Now, I see her not necessarily for the very first time, but we now meet up in person, essentially, after, we had our conversation.
Sure.
And
you hadn't seen her in years at that point.
Yeah, I hadn't seen her in years. I would see her here and there. We lived in the same community, but she was on the other side, essentially, of my town, or my section, let me say that, right? And she comes through looking dashing.
Come on now.
Beautiful, right?
Let's go.
She's there. She's a girl in heels,
Let's go.
Comes through, and she's wearing this beautiful outfit. Now, there's an element of purple that she had, from her shoes and some of the beads that she had, in her outfit as well. Clean. Hey. I'm sitting there and I'm like,
yeah, convoys.
Hey, I'm like, hey, how did I get this one? How did she agree? Saying that, let me meet up with this chick,
Yeah.
She arrives and she has, glasses on, but these are obviously from Swank and all that, right?
Sure.
And I'm like, sure, man, she has a beautiful smile,
Sure.
and she has these beautiful, like slightly chubby cheeks, man. And when she smiles, like, and every single time, and I see that, I just smile every single time, right? And I sit there and I'm looking at her. And after some time, I say, hi, how are you? I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, she's now, why are you taking time to greet this lady?
Sure.
I open the chair for her and she sits down, we order a meal. And she's like, what do you want to order? Like, listen, I was like, listen, just order anything that you love and you want and jump in.
Yeah.
Now, on that day, there's this other salad that I liked, right? I really enjoyed from Mug and Bean.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mug and Bean, yeah?
Shout out.
I was there and I had, that salad, it came
yeah.
and her meal came as well.
Sure.
Now, she had some wings going on.
Come
she
on
had some
now.
ribs going on.
Come
and
on
I'm like,
now.
I want to see how she's going to operate these ribs, How she going to operate these ribs, right? And she was so unapologetic about how, sometimes we step into a phase where we're so elegant in the way that we eat.
First day.
It's the first day,
Yeah, sure.
And she went in and I wasn't shocked by that.
Sure.
I was like, man, I love this. And it showcases, her authenticity, her realness. And she's like, yo, man, listen, we're here to have a good time. We're here to conversate about this life thing.
Sure.
And she went in, right?
Sure.
And I went in my salad. And now she's looking at me funny. I'm like,
salad.
Salad, dog. Salad. I'm there with the vinaigrette, doing my
now.
thing, man.
Come on.
And he's like, oh, salad. And I was like, yeah, well, I enjoy the salad, right? I know it's weird, it's crazy, but one thing I can tell you, I'm weird like that, You'll have a good time in life. She laughs at that, and we now step into, who you are. And I told her about the story about quantum and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she laughed, and she was like, yo, man, it was crazy. But
Crazy,
we were there, and I said to her, you know what, I'm not about to take you on this whirlwind of peganyana, just giving you intonyana and adding a bit of flavor and all that stuff. I'm going to be authentic and raw, and it's about how you take it.
It's good.
Where we will now have the ability to build.
Sure, man.
And she was like, you know what, I'm also here to share my story and who I am. I'm not here to cook up something funny or add a bit of spice, some salt here and there. I want to be authentic. And I felt like that moment allowed us to have a solid foundation, because I told her about who I am. I told her about my family. I told her about how I grew up. I told her about the element and level of spirituality that comes through from my family. And she shared the same. And through that, it laid that foundation.
Bro.
Where she's not afraid to be like, okay, come back to against Msebenzi. She's like, oh no, Msebenzi, what's that?
Sure,
But she was never like that. She was like, listen, I'm ready. And I'll be there. Ma clean on my tumbu and all those things, right?
Sure.
That's how Roy gets, right? Like, no, listen, I'll be there. Netri food. Those big African pots, I'll be there cooking the pap and also the nyam and the speed and all that. Yeah. And I was like, Lord, is this the person that you said you're going to bring into my life?
Man. And
it reminded me of those conversations. Now I'm like, man, I think I did the right thing in saving. I think my mom and dad were right in saying save.
Save, bro.
Because there's a potential of this happening. Wow, bro. And from there on, we skip the phase of, when Steve Harvey says, give a man 90 days and he will show you who you are.
Yeah.
90 days was in one day.
Come on now.
In a couple of weeks, And we're there, and we hadn't necessarily started dating at the point.
Yeah.
Hadn't asked her out. Now, we're having a conversation with December time. Conversating. January comes around, and we were so intentional about the conversations that we had. I mean, we would have conversations about 10 of Sugu, last until 1 a.m. in the morning. Now, my parents don't know. Her parents don't know at the time that she was dating, right? Or has met someone.
Sure.
Having those conversations. And we're very intentional about the conversations that we have. We'd send I would send voice notes and all that stuff.
What's I'm doing
blind. And she would tell me. And she would share it even with her siblings. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
And when I send the voice notes, because essentially, like a lot of people say my voice sounds like really, really good. And I'm like, I can't necessarily pick that up because I've had this voice for so many years. Right?
Sure.
And even through that, I would send voice notes and she would say to her siblings, yo, this guy's voice sounds really good. And she would share that with them. I'm like, what? Why would you do that?
Those are conversations.
Yeah, and through that, so like, I would always listen to the voice notes even before I sleep. Just listening to this guy.
Come on, bro.
Just talking. You can say whatever you want to say, but just him talking, man, just brings so much softness in my life.
Sure.
And through that, I remember on the 2nd of February, right?
Yeah.
I asked out. And she said to me, I hear that you're now asking me out. I'm going all Zulu. I'm there and letting you know that I want you to make a man out of me. I want to build with you. I want to grow with you.
Man.
If you can only afford me that opportunity, just a yes would potentially change my life. And through that, she said to me, I hear what you say and I appreciate what you say. Let me go and pray about it first. And once I'm done praying and God has a conversation with me, I will come back to you.
Man.
And I was like, it's all right. It's okay.
Man.
I will hear from you when you come back, and I will not give you any pressure. Do what you have to do that will settle and sit well in your heart, and we'll take it from there. If you reject me, it's okay. If you say, let's continue moving forward, that is also great. I was there, and she came back to me. Now, at the same time, I'm human as well. I'm like, Isan, okay, Fede, right? And as a human being, you have this, you lean towards rejection and you're getting yourself ready for that.
It's weird, bro.
Yeah, it is.
It's weird, man.
You get yourself ready for that moment.
Yeah.
And you never really get yourself ready for the
yes, bro. Yeah.
And I'm there. Okay, cool. We end the conversation and we sleep. Actually, yeah, we sleep. And this is the first, and going over to the 2nd of February. And she comes back to me and says, hey, Sis, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. Hey, now I'm like, it's time to shine now.
Yeah.
It's time to shine. Let's see if very, I shine for real or I don't, and she says, yes.
It's crazy. Come
yes,
on now.
let's do this thing.
Come on, man.
And let's see where it takes us. And I always ask her and saying, when you said yes in the moment or the build up to the yes, what is that process like for you? Because when you told me, I wasn't there to the moment where you said yes. I was there for the yes. I was present.
Sure.
But I wasn't present for the process. And I'm an individual who likes to step into that conversation. Go a little bit deeper. Let's find out, what went through your head. What was your thinking process? What was the environment for you to settle in the moment of saying yes to this guy? This guy who you don't necessarily know 100% what he likes, what he doesn't like. How well does he do in spaces of conversation and all that stuff, right? But she was there and said, you know what? I had a conversation with the Lord. And God said to me, it's okay. And step into this phase and I will protect you as my child, right? And I will allow that moment to settle well for you and also settle well for him because he's also my child as well.
Yeah.
And from there on, I never, ever, ever looked back. And I remember, I think it was, if I still remember correctly, my mom saw signs that, no, man.
Something is
cooking here. Something is cooking here. My dad sometimes just sits back and just relaxes. But my mom, you see, my dad is more of quite gent. My mom is the one that, she talks, and she's real with her talk.
Sure.
She's like, my boy, I see you're moving different. You're not the same anymore. I know when you smile and when we have fun, take it easy and all that stuff. But now it's kind of this level that you've entered now, and it's great. My mom and sister would always joke and say, this guy has been single for a long time.
Sure.
I think we must write, those TV shows that they had and put him on there, right? And let's see if we might get someone. But they're already late for that because I already found someone,
That's
right?
crazy,
Which is my wife.
Sure.
And I brought her home, and it was a Sunday after church. It was a Sunday after church, and I was like, listen, and she came from church, right? I was like, no, listen, today, let's just meet our parents. Well, my parents essentially, right? And I collected her, and I said to my dad, please don't go anywhere. I know you have a busy schedule. I know.
Yeah.
But let's pack up at church first and make sure everything is set. And then let's just go home. Don't go anywhere else, right? And don't take mom out. And let's go home, right? We get home and my parents are there. I'm like, I'll be back. I fetch her, come through now. She's nervous, right?
Sure.
But my dad is very traditional. My mom is very traditional. And Shirley had itugu, and she had covered obviously her shoulders well to show respect, to.
Did you prep her to do that before?
She had that within her because her grandmother taught her that, listen, when you go to a space as a young lady, right, respect that place. And also when I saw that, this is one person who also respects the culture and tradition of where we grow up, where we find ourselves. And she was there looking dashing, looking amazing. She was there, in a beautiful dress, beautiful heels. And one thing I can tell you about her is she makes sure that her outfits are curated and they're always, always. She never fails, man. Never fails, right? And she ensures that it's on the money every single time. And I was like, listen, don't open the door. I'll open it for you. Because maybe my mom is watching by the sliding door. Because my mom, my mom is quick, So I opened the door for her and I hold her. She steps out of the vehicle. I close the vehicle and lock it. We step into the yard and I hold her hand and say, listen, don't be nervous. It's going to be good. But obviously she is nervous. I think if you hear me being not nervous, it's weird, right? But we walked in together.
You'd be the alien I spoke about.
We walk in, I hold her hand and say, let's go.
Sure.
Right? It's going to be all right. And we step in. Now, as my dad is a teacher, she was like, he's like, let me just, was marking a couple of scripts from the students. And my mom was just taking it easy there.
Sure.
And my mom had prepared like a big meal. Like she always do. Every single Sunday, my mom is up by 5 a.m. and cooking. By 7, she's done. Wow. That time when I was still living at home, I wouldn't even hear a single pot.
Wow, bro.
That's how my mom was when it comes to cooking on a Sunday. We get there and my dad removes his glasses.
Sure.
And he smiles a bit. And like, oh, okay, cool. My mom as well, she smiles as well.
Sure.
Because we also have conversations with my mom.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, this is a special somebody that was there,
Sure.
And we take a seat. My dad comes through and my dad has a chair that only he sits in.
Yeah.
Sits there.
But that's how you know you're the head of the household. I need a chair.
Hey man, And my dad sits there. My mom is there and I'm sitting back beside Usheli, right? And we greet. And I said, Mom, Dad, the lovely lady that I've been telling you about, this is her. And this is a beautiful lady that we are now building something that is beautiful for the future together. And my mom said to her, my daughter, welcome to the family.
No way.
And that also hit so hard for me that my mom was saying, this is my child now. And my mom said to her, Shirley, listen, I will love you beyond measure. You are my child and I don't want nothing to happen with you. If Sizwe goes wild, goes crazy in his head, tell me. And I'll put him in line. And I'm like, hey, I know, moms will put you in line.
Proper, bro. Proper.
And
you said you wanted somebody strong as your mom.
And
she's demonstrating
she's
that
there,
strength
already,
in front of you.
And I was like, man, this is such a beautiful moment that my mom loves someone who's so special to me.
Man.
My dad said, son, you've done a beautiful thing that you have brought her here to us.
Man. And
make sure that all the lessons that I've taught you, the conversations that we've had together when mom wasn't around, ensure that those live now in the space that you are curating.
Come on, man.
Be her safety, be a person who will love her beyond measure and uphold her, because this is now your queen. And he says, and my dad always says that, emhlabeni, we are essentially, your representation of God.
Yeah.
We are here to guide you. And now you are also stepping into that moment where you have to let us go, as God would say, and stick to the person that you have chose for life. And those words in that moment touched me so much, where I was like, sure, okay, my parents are now proud that I've stepped into this moment.
Yeah.
And through that, my dad took me aside, said, son, I'm proud of you. And listen, man, you're now more than a son, because you've stepped into this moment. You're now my brother. And I was like, for a man who has taught me so much, who I value and say, and always call him dad and know him as dad, said, I'm not only your dad, but now you're my brother, you're my friend. You know, our parents are when they say that, listen, I'm not your friend, but I'm your parent. And I understood that. But my dad saying, listen now, son, you're my brother. You know, we are friends now. And let's grow together. Whatever you need, whatever moments where you find yourself lacking, come to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's go and grab coffee and let's chat together. So that moment was so pivotal in life that I was like, you know what, this person, I will ensure that I take care of her beyond measure. And 2 years later, on the 7th of October, I went in there and I was like, yo, Pops, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you how much I had, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, Dad, Mom, now I'm thinking of stepping into a space and phase where ngizolobola. I've had a conversation with myself. I've had a conversation. Because the thing is, we forget about ourselves, right? And this is a moment in life where you're stepping into that it's such an unknown, because you've never done it before.
Yeah.
And you're doing it right now. You're thinking of doing it.
Sure.
And you hear stories of Ilobol and how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And me seeing it from my cousins, right? And what they had gone through. And Ubabamkhulu, Ubamncane being there as well to say, listen, we want to build Swakubhlobo Obuhle with your daughter's family. And yeah, and we were there. And prior to me even going to starting the conversation, I had met her parents.
Okay.
Now they had an event. Because also it's a part of that journey, right? I'd met her parents, but now I was at. It was also a Saturday. Yeah, it was a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
How far apart was it from when she met your parents as you met hers?
It was about 3 weeks.
Oh, hey, bro.
Because there was an event that was happening at home, right? But she didn't tell me that there was an event that was happening on her side of the family, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, listen, I think this day would be cool that you meet my parents." And she said that, listen, my mom is very specific about the person who's gonna meet a daughter. Right?
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
I'm like, okay, there's your dad. That in general you think about as a guy.
Yeah.
And like, yo, okay, I'm gonna meet the pops now.
Yeah.
Mom, we're like, our mom's a little bit soft.
Yeah.
My mom's are. And he's like, yeah, my mom, and we're very open about previous relationships and all that stuff, right? But she always said, Sizwe, listen, my mom didn't approve of the boyfriends that I had in the past. They're like, I had kind individuals, and all that, but just know. So I don't know which direction it will take.
Was that a deal breaker for her? If her mom had said no?
Yeah, she does value her mom a lot, But she knows that C's is an amazing person. And she said to me, you know what? Even if my mom says no or what, but I'll fight to ensure that she knows how great of a person you
So
are.
she was sold out, sure.
And I was like, great. And I'll be there to also show moms that it's great. This person is the perfect person for my daughter.
So, bro.
And we go to now her house, right? And mind you, there's an event. Like there's the whole family.
Oh, so there's something happening. You're not the event.
No,
Okay.
I'm not the event, right?
Okay.
But she was like, yo, come through and just chill with my family.
Yeah.
You're going to meet my mom. You're going to meet my dad.
I mean, we don't do that as Black people.
Yeah.
What possessed you guys?
I don't know what happened.
I get you introducing her.
Yeah.
I would think, the guy's family would be more lenient.
Yeah.
Girls' families are normally closed off, bro.
Yeah, man.
So much so that they might even think,
yeah.
You haven't come formally with a letter.
And I think also, God played a role in that space to make it comfortable,
Dope.
to make it easy to settle in that moment.
Sure.
And yeah, when we were there, and now I met the siblings and friends
Yes.
first. Now
Sure.
we're taking it easy and we chilling. And ikawela liaison, you know, the food comes through,
Yeah.
and we're waiting for moms to come through. Now, moms was a little bit busy in the kitchen, but she knew that there's a brew that's coming here, and this is a brew that says he's dating my daughter.
Yeah, sure.
I died, no issue. We're chilling there, and I'm nervous, man. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm gonna meet the mom, you know, and Shirley comes through and says, "Hey, just come through for a moment and come and meet moms, right?"
Sure.
Now, Uma and I, she also had, you know, her duke on and then the shawl on as well. And I'm like, oh, so it's balancing. The equation is balancing now, you know?
Sure.
Now I'm nervous and I'm also dressed to the T, you know, looking good, looking smart as well. And Shirley had said, listen, don't operate too much on the fit, but just take it easy.
Sure.
So we're there and I meet moms and mom said, hi, son, how are you?
No way.
I was like, I was just called son, you know, they said, I was like, hi, Ma, unjani? And her mom said, welcome to the family and we're going to love you beyond measure. And it went in a direction that I did not expect.
Bro.
Because you expect a bit of a young fight that is there. And then that look that says,
who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
what do you want with my daughter? Sure.
You know, and at that moment, she then says, we'll definitely communicate and conversate in between. I'm just trying to finish off in the kitchen and make beautiful food for you guys as well, right? So I'll be back, my son. I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful, right? And I come through and we chill together, right? I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, this went so well, but I'm still nervous.
Instant hydration, bro. The sweat
goes away, right? But that's one half of the team that I just met, right?
Yeah.
Dad is still coming through because we're still busy, right?
Sure.
And Shirley's dad comes through and Shirley's like, hey, listen, come through and meet dad quickly. And dad's comes through and says, I'm like, you know, and I'm there like doing, you know, the proper things. Like, except you good? I'm not. I know. Shut. The dad post was like, yo, yeah, I know. So welcome to the family, man. This is the best place to be. You'll enjoy. Life is amazing.
Sure.
And I'm like, what on earth just happened? No way, because now both sides of the family like are showing so much love to us. Now they also want to meet now. It's like, yo, no, listen, we just want to meet, you know,
crazy,
each other. And yeah, we were there, had a good time. Wow, and moms came through all the time, you know, just coming, mama shit, right? Coming through saying, listen, Sizwe, you good?
Yeah.
Right? Do you want anything? Are you okay, my son? Like, no, I'm still good. You know? And a little bit later on, Shirley comes to me and says, you know what, man? My mom said, this young boy looks good. You know, he looks good, man. I love him. The moment that I saw him, my spirit was like, yeah, this is the one. You know, this is the one. You know, and I was like, what? You know, so we were there, and it was such a beautiful experience that we started to grow now together. And thereon, 7th of October comes around.
Yeah.
And I tell Dad, days leading up to it, Dad, listen, I saved up 12,000 Rand right now. Dad was like shocked that, son, you raised that amount? I'm like, yes. So this is where we're going to be starting at.
Sure.
This is where we now lay the foundation for the future.
Yeah. And
I tell Dad, listen, I want you to write the letter, because Dad writes, you know, the letter saying that with your family. And mind you, they already met at this stage. And I said, Dad, listen, I want to task you with this job and let's operate, you know, and let's do this thing. Dad gave me a handshake and said, great.
Let's go.
Dad tells my mom sheds a tear and is like, yeah, my boy's grown now. You know, my boy is grown. And we're there. And the letter is written.
Yeah.
And now my sister was so excited to send the letter.
Sure.
They write everything, they type it out, they sign on their side.
Wow, bro.
And my sister now is moving to Cabo Shelley, right? And she has this letter that is so golden that she needs to make sure that she protects with her life.
Sure.
Sister texts me and says, Sis, big bro, I'm heading out, my boy. I'm going to be doing this thing for you. And you know I got you.
Sure.
Until the sun doesn't shine anymore.
Sure.
I'm there with you, you know? And she always calls me the brother. You know, when we greet each other, we say the brother, the sister, you know, we do this thing. head out that side, and she delivers the letter. And then once she's done and dusted, she left.
Sure.
And comes back home and says, "Sees my boy, job is done.
Sure.
Let's lock in." I said, the sister, big shout out to you.
Sure.
And I appreciate you big time. And yeah, man, 7th October came around.
Still,
my uncles were there. My dad took the money, placed it on the table, told my grandfather's brother, right, which is my dad's brother, essentially, right?
Yes.
And my other uncles from my mom's side, my dad's siblings as well, aunts, they were there. It was a proper starting lineup.
Delegation.
Yeah. They were there. Proper delegation. They were there, and they were there to operate.
Let's go.
And
let's go.
When my dad told them that, listen, nangumfana, he is here, and he wants to step into this particular phase, and he's worked hard. And I heard my dad's voice crack a bit. I've never seen my dad cry. Never. And I was sitting there, and I was like, man, bro. Pops is shedding a tear for me. And he said to his brothers, his babumncane essentially, my grandfather's brother, and said, "Team, your son has worked. And he's now sending us, let's do right by him." And he cried a bit, took a moment, and then he said, "Let's go." And they had said it, there's always a time that is there. And he said, now it's time for us to go. And there is no way we're going to be late. Just make sure that we arrive early. And we will be there, knock by the gate, and just be there until we enter. Yeah. And through God's grace, they were there, and I covered them. This is the home where you guys are going to be operating at. Yeah. And I was standing there by a distance, right? So I'm like, okay, guys, I can't come close, but you guys will be there and do your thing. Yeah. I recorded them, walking at the gates. They're doing their thing, man. Calling out names there. And I was watching the time, set a time, like, how long will they do things and then open? Right?
Are you talking to Shirley in the background?
Yeah, I'm talking to Shirley in the background, right? I'm having a conversation. But at the time, I'm focusing on what is happening here because now I'm nervous. And also, she's in the house, I know, right?
Yeah.
And then they eventually enter. And now, let me tell you this, right? So Shirley's always like, to her brother, like, no, go to Bamisa. But told her a little bit more, know. But I always said, like, no, look at me. The Mngomezulu family came through, and your brother was like, listen, after this amount, they can operate and come through. This is family, man. You can't go hard on family, And they walk in and they do all that they need to do. Yeah. And Shirley tells me that when it comes to Ingubo, right? And there was 4 of them. Yeah. Right? And they said, okay, y'all know your daughter?
Gotta pick her.
So pick her.
Yeah.
And the whole family, they were doing their thing, and they said, this is our daughter. Yeah. They were like, are you sure? That this is the daughter. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, this is the daughter. Sure. And when they lifted up the blanket as well, my beautiful wife was there.
Come on.
And I'm like, come on, guys. I trust you guys. Do the most. Yeah. And after there, we had the most beautiful meal.
Fire,
and we were there. And they said, Sizwe, come through. Because we also now have to allow you to step into this home. But we know that ubaba wekhaya sekafikile, and let's give him his space and respect him because he's done something that not a lot of individuals would do. Yeah. And he's worked hard. Yeah. So they called me and we stepped in and we had such a beautiful, beautiful experience of Iloba. Now, she loves celebrating, right? And we had a young deco, going on. And we were like, it's just a small thing. Sure. At the time, we're not married as yet, and all that. But we are taking care of the traditional aspect of things. And after family was like, oh, man, I'm like, no, it was just a small thing, but it looked so big. Yeah. And that's how beautiful, it was. And, we took that moment and went down on one knee, gave her, a beautiful ring. And I saw my mom, she was in the car because mom's not supposed to be there,
Sure.
But Shirley's mom was like, no, please call my friend. Now they're best friends. Like, please call my friend. She has to be here.
Sure.
My uncles were like, no, it's not happening, But mom's Shirley was like, listen, we're breaking a bit of tradition.
Come on, man.
And it's going to be a beautiful blessing to have them both.
Wow, bro.
Moms came and she shed a tear as well. And I'm like, oh, wow, my mom was like, this is one thing that I wanted to see my son go through.
Oh, man.
And yeah, man, we were there, and a couple of later years, which was last year, came through and I wrapped it up.
Come on,
I
bro.
was like, listen, gang is like shit. And now, even the delegation on her side, right, when it came to Lobola, right, one of the individuals actually works with my dad in the same industry, right? So they know each other. They're good friends.
Sure.
And when they saw each other, they're like, this was meant to be.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be tough on you, my friend, because this is my daughter.
Sure.
Sure. But dad was like, I'm gonna be tough on you, my friend, because this is my son. And we were there, and we wrapped it up the second time as well, just finishing off everything. And yeah, she looked beautiful, man. She looked gorgeous, and I still have, the profile picture that I have, my wallpaper. Oh, it's all her, man.
Yeah.
And I always have it, and I like, man, listen, this picture is one of those that I just need to grow and make big.
Frame
always
that thing, man.
frame it, man. And I was there, and yeah, we celebrated with my family. Now they also came through, and we, as I've said, we're quite a big family.
Yeah.
They were singing proper. The neighbors were like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And celebrating and just having a good time. And brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone was there, and they were like, "Listen, we're supporting you," and through it all. Yeah,
bro,
so that's the beauty of my journey.
Man, thanks for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
Feels like a movie.
It does, man.
and I'm just like, bro, your story is the quintessential story that all of us dream of having. We live in a broken world, broken families, but like all of us, man, are like, yo, man, this is how life is supposed to be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And if we don't get it, well, then we'll try and build it ourselves, through our marriages, through our families, through having kids and just, man, wanting to have a legacy like that, bro. Yeah. I'm like, and the fact that both parents on either side of the family are still together. And
absolutely,
bro.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
No, bro. We need a better adjective, bro.
Yeah.
It's more than beautiful, bro. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful thing, man. It seems like lobola is a very important thing to you.
It is.
Why?
It is. It's where the foundation is laid.
Sure.
It's the quintessential moment in life that I had to go through and make sure that I go through. Because I know that, we have ancestors that we do have. My grandmother, my grandfather, my grandfather as well, my mom's dad, right? I know they're watching over me on a day-to-day basis, watching over my dad as well, and us as a family. And I also needed to not forget about their legacy that my dad shared with me.
Sure, man.
And I also had to make them proud. And also with Ilobola, it's a situation where I've seen it happen. It's a part of our family. It's a part of our tradition. It's seen as abantu abamnyama in the world that we live in. That there is this element. And I was like, you know what? I want to even in this modern world, I want to step into that phase and do right by me and do right by my wife's family as well. So that they don't feel like, no, you took our daughter and you and all those things, right? But I said that I want to be intentional about this. And this is the lessons that I've been taught growing up. And I was like, I'm going to make it happen, of which we did. And it was such a beautiful, crazy experience, right? Beautiful experience as well. A great experience in going through that because you realize the amount of support that you have with family. You realize the love that you have with family because it goes back to youth gatherings, family gatherings, where we come together. But now the situation of we're celebrating this one person. Let's come together from different parts of the country. I mean, I had cousins who flown from Cape Town.
Bro.
I had cousins who were in Mpumalanga who came through different parts of the country. We're like, we're here. Others that I invited as well said, unfortunately, this time I can't come because, work and all those things. I was like, guys, it's okay. Now, siyalobola, siyaphethisa yonke into saqeda.
Sure.
And being married on the traditional aspect of things as well, so that we receive, those blessings as well. Because we get to hear so many stories where they say, no, umkhulu aqedanga, so something is not working right in life for one person. So let's finish off there. Your stuff will now come into light and you'll be all right. So looking at that, I was like, let me do it right. Regardless of what happens, but let me do it right. And I did that. And even through that moment, the love and support that I received from Usheli, moving from community radio to commercial radio, now making really nice randales. Making nice randales. And
Compare Muggin being every day. Now, baby.
any day, man, I'm gonna give you them roses in purple. I'm gonna make them roses purple.
Come on, man.
And giving her the world and seeing her smile is the biggest thing for me.
Sure, man.
I saw my dad make my mom smile day in, day out. They will laugh together, have fun together. And I wanted to replicate that and essentially make it better, and give her the world and showcase that to others. Even young people can do it.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
Even young people can do it. And ngiphetisa amalobola before the age of 30. I guess which is cool and unexpected, And I did that and had fun with the whole process as well. And choosing my outfits with that. Man, we want to look good together. With that, these two are operating together. And the love that we would receive from people that we don't even know. I mean, she would also get a lot of DMs from young ladies saying, how did you do it? From others even older than us, saying that, how did you do it? How did you maintain? How did you operate in a space where you are so authentic about each other and who you are as individuals? And we always say it stems back to the real conversations that we had when we started. Because now you're not surprised by the real you at a later stage. What's going on? Because this is not what I'm used to. Right? And we're very intentional about that. And even through those moments as well, we just continue to rise and be great together.
That's good,
and it's like I all the time, from lobola to marriage and all that. Siyajola. We have fun. Let's date. We're still boyfriend and girlfriend. I think it does get lost sometimes when now you have the title of ubaba, umama, husband, wife, married. Whether starting off traditionally and now signing. My grandmother always say commissioner. At home face, right? And my grandmother's 98, by the way, right?
Sure.
Yeah, she's 98. She always say commissioner. And even if you get to that phase as well, just date each other.
Don't stop, man.
Don't stop. Joel and Jubim Nandi, and even if you have those titles, just date each other. And we look at each other like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Come on, bro.
Even though now our parents are very happy in the steps that we've took, traditionally as well, finishing everything, and now stepping into also the phase of having a full-blown celebration. We're also now looking forward to that because we did it right first time. And now we operate on the highest, as we always say.
Man.
Yeah.
Bro, thank you so much for this, man. This is so inspirational, bro. And I know a lot of people who watch this will definitely, just have a transformative experience in how they view their own journey. I think I advocate for people to get married young, bro. Like, don't waste your time, though. Just do it, As soon as you find that person, in your 20s especially, just do it, man. I think it's a myth trying to spend 100 years to know somebody. I'm like, you know enough about them that they're not going to kill you.
No, absolutely. That's the key thing,
and
right?
then marry them, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the key thing, yeah.
So I know a lot of people, bro, are just going to be, is moved by your story. Two things for me, bro, and maybe one other thing. Firstly, maybe three things. One, please, bro, thank your whole family for us, man. Like, your story is a blessing, bro. And uncles, aunts, your extended siblings.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Please, man, thank all of them for us, bro. Your wife's family, your wife. Bro, your story is just incredible.
Oh, thank you.
And all of you are players in this story. It becomes what it is because of everybody's contribution, and seemingly, I don't know everyone, but it seems like they all want to be there. They all want to be part of the story, So please, man, just send our thanks, send our love to them. Secondly, what would you say to people who are like, nah, dog, Lobola is outdated. Uncles just want to make money. This is a quick get rich scheme, and I've just started working and I don't buy into this thing, bro. In fact, we should do away with it.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you say to those guys? And then lastly, I'd ask you to look into this camera.
Yeah.
And how long have you been married now?
Now it's 3 years.
Okay. So let's say in 9 years. Because you have to pass the 7-year itch.
Hey, that's 7-year itch. Hey, I've heard it, man. The 7-year itch. Yeah. I've been waiting for that. Yeah. Like, hey, man, I hope I don't get to the 7-year itch.
You got it, bro.
But I want to get to 7-year itch and just enjoy and continue with this experience.
Yeah. So lastly, at year 9, what would you say to Shirley, bro? Yeah.
Let's start off with family. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Sure.
Amazing. Mngomezulu family.
Sure.
The Ramaube family as well. Thank you for being the individuals that you are and showing love, support, and most importantly, grace in being authentic about who we are. And when we don't do right, we fix it. When we do great, we celebrate each other and inspire each other day in, day out. I want to start off with that. To those that don't believe in ilobola or who wouldn't want to participate rather in it, to you I say, it's okay. Don't be in a world where you feel pressured to do something where you are not ready. Because at the end of the day, it's not only going to bite you, but it's going to hurt someone who you love. This is an individual, potentially, your wife, who grew up saying that I want to be a princess at my wedding. I want to go through the phase of ilobola because it's so integrated in who I am. Even if you hadn't seen individuals in family who got ilobola, but you want to step into that moment and you hope and pray that someone's son out there, will do that for you as you move on forward. I say it's okay because you might not believe in it now. You might just believe in it in the future. When you decide to say, listen, I want to build a relationship with this individual and take your time with it. Be kind to yourself. People will have opinions. People will have conversations in saying, you must do this and that. And that adds on to so much in your life where you are now misinterpreting or rather misfiring, and your engine is not operating on the highest anymore because there are so many opinions that are coming into this one tunnel where you reside. Because in as much as we are in a relationship, but at the same time, you're also an individual. And you need to speak to yourself before you speak to anyone else, such as, your partner, such as someone you really truly love, like mom and dad. But you ultimately have to take that decision, and it shows growth. It shows the amount of responsibility that you have for your own life.
That's good.
Because if it works for you, it'll end up filling into your partner's life and vice versa. That is the beauty of it. And you'll be okay. Right? You'll be okay. Zuba kren, zuba sharp, zuba right. Yeah. And third one, we said.
Your wife, bro, in 9 years' time.
Yes. 7-year itch.
Yeah.
But speak to the camera, right?
Yeah.
Listen, baby love, baby girl, my sunshine, my beautiful wife, Shirley. I love you, man. I always call you Momo. This is one of those names that whenever I see you call with the name, the heart, and the ring that is there on my call log, man, I really and truly appreciate you. I love you because you remind me of powerful women in my life. Those women being Mngomezulu, which is my mom, and Tandeka Moloi, which is my grandmother. Those are individuals that have shaped who I am in being kind and being soft, to show you the love that I received from them, and that translating to the love that I have for you. And I amplify it because I carry you, because at the same time, you are will and are going to carry the Mngomezulu legacy. And I appreciate you big time because you have made me a stronger person. You have been there for me, still are for me here, in terms of growing and believing a little bit more in myself. And for you to allow me to not pressure myself in such a way that I cannot move forward. We jump over hurdles, we dive under the water, we walk together, we fly together, we enjoy sunsets and sunrises together. We are there for each other as we laugh, be kind, and sometimes we take a moment where, as human beings, we're not happy with each other, but we come together and say, listen, let's fix, let's be great, and showcase to the world and even the young ones as well that it is possible. We work together as a team. We are one. And sometimes it might just be 80%, and you are 100 and you have to carry, the 20%. And I love you for that. And it's vice versa as well. You remind me of those meals that my mom would cook. You remind me of those meals that my grandmother would cook. And I told you the story. I said, growing up, my grandmother used to buy my chips in Russian, salt, vinegar, spice. And even to this day, you still do that. And I love that so much. I remember you cooked my favorite meal when I said that, you know what, I love itombolo, itanga as well, with a little bit of sugar, and of course, a beef stew. And you said, okay, I hear you. And one day when I came to the house, the meal was already prepped. There was a time when my parents didn't have electricity because our community didn't have electricity for a couple of days. And you cooked a warm meal for them. And when I got back to work, you said, babe, listen, ngizothatha isishibo sala ekhaya, sala endlini, and let's cook for mom and dad and ugugu as well. And say, listen, guys, here's a meal. Because we realized that ukesa uku. And also you cooked my mom's favorite, fish. She loves it so much. And you were there and said, let's do this for your parents. And I love you for that. Appreciate you. We're doing this. And in the next 9 years, say I push even another 9. My parents are married 33 years.
Sure.
And I want us to go even beyond and above. But akube mnandi, as we always do, enjoy, love each other, carry each other, be strict with each other, discipline each other in a way that is so kind, saying, here you're not doing right, but let's operate in this way so that we are better. We fight for each other, and we'll always do. We as Ndwana, when it comes to all the opportunities that we get, sihlale sisho ukuthi ayikhangezi ifumbethe, kodwa dedela okudala ukuze ukwamukele okusha. And that's where we are. We have chosen each other, we removed ezakudala, and we are now carrying and living through the opportunity that we took for each other's life in love. Thank you, appreciate you, and I love you. Yeah.
Sis, thanks, my dog.
Yeah.
Bro, appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
This is good, bro.
Yeah,
This is good.
and you know what, man, I love such conversations.
Thanks, man.
And I want to be, that spark for that other individual who's young, older, who still believes in love. I always say, even on my radio show, that, hey, man, one thing that we're more than willing to do is risk for love.
Sure.
You might be hurt, heart shattered, but there's something in you that says, let me try again. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe this deserves a part 2. Yeah.
Come on,
I don't
bro.
know.
Definitely.
You know?
You said it.
Yeah.
You said it, dog.
Part 2, let's lock in.
Come on, bro.
And let's chat about this thing to showcase to people that it's possible.
Appreciate it, my dog.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do leave your requests for part 2, right? So that we can send them to Caesar, convince him that he must come back. But man, there's a lot of things that we said. So please do leave your comments. We'd love to engage you on those. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And for me and the squad, we'll see you next week, Wednesday, 11:30. Peace.